The call came at 6:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. I remember the exact time because I was pouring my first cup of coffee, watching the sunrise through my kitchen window in Clearwater, Florida. Retirement had taught me to appreciate these quiet mornings. 28 years as a homicide detective, the last 12 as chief of detectives for Tampa PD, and now I finally had time to just breathe. Dad, it was my daughter Emma's husband, Travis. His voice was wrong, tight, rehearsed. You need to come to Miami. Now. What happened? Is Emma okay? A pause. Too long. Emma's dead, Dad. Heart attack. Last night around 11. I'm sorry. The coffee mug hit the floor. I didn't hear it shatter. I couldn't hear anything except that word. Dead. My daughter. My Emma. 42 years old. A heart attack? What? How? She just turned 42. She runs marathons. She doesn't just... I know. It was sudden. The doctors said it happens sometimes. A hidden defect. I found her in bed. She was already gone. Something in his tone. That detective's instinct that never really retires. He sounded stressed, yes, but not devastated. Not broken. I'd delivered death notifications for nearly 3 decades. I knew what real grief sounded like. I'm coming down now. I can be there in 4 hours. Actually, Dad, maybe give it a day or two? There's a lot to handle here. Arrangements. Paperwork. I'll call you when things are more settled. Travis, she's my daughter. I'm not waiting. I'm leaving in 20 minutes. Look, I really think... I hung up. My hands were shaking as I grabbed my keys, my wallet, my phone. Emma, my baby girl, the one who used to climb into my lap during thunderstorms, the one who became a brilliant architect, who designed community centers and affordable housing, the one who married Travis Chen 3 years ago in a beach ceremony that made her so happy she cried through the entire thing. The drive to Miami was a blur. I called my son, Marcus, who was teaching in Oregon. He broke down on the phone. That's what grief sounds like. Raw, uncontrolled, real. I arrived at Emma's house in Coral Gables at 11:15 a.m. The house she and Travis had bought 2 years ago, the one she'd designed herself. Spanish colonial revival, she'd called it. White stucco, red tile roof, beautiful arched windows. Her pride and joy. Travis's black Mercedes was in the driveway. So was a silver Lexus I didn't recognize. I rang the doorbell. Once, twice. I could hear voices inside. I rang again. Travis opened the door maybe 6 inches. His face was composed. Too composed. He was wearing pressed khakis and a polo shirt. I'd thrown on jeans and whatever shirt I could grab. He looked like he was heading to a business lunch. Dad, I told you to wait. My daughter died, Travis. I'm not waiting anywhere. Let me in. He didn't move. This really isn't a good time. Excuse me? I'm handling things. I'll call you about the funeral arrangements. I put my hand on the door. 50 years of experience told me something was very, very wrong. Travis, let me in. Now. Mr. Peterson, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. He pulled out his phone. I don't want to call the police, but call them. I spent 28 years on the force. I know every cop in this county. Let me in. A woman's voice from inside. Travis, who is it? Just Emma's father. It's fine. He's leaving. Emma's father. Not dad. Not family. A problem to be managed. I pushed past him. He tried to stop me, but I'm still strong for 63, and I wasn't asking anymore. The woman in the living room was maybe 35, blonde, expensive looking. She was sitting on Emma's couch with a glass of wine. At 11 a.m., spreadsheets were laid out on the coffee table. Financial documents. Who are you? I demanded. She smiled. Cool. Calculating. I'm Melissa, Travis's business partner. And you are? Emma's father. What the hell is going on here? Travis grabbed my arm. Dad, you need to go. We're in the middle of something important. I shook him off. My daughter has been dead less than 12 hours, and you're having business meetings? With wine? Melissa stood up, smoothing her skirt. Mr. Peterson, I understand you're grieving, but Travis has a company to run. Emma's architectural firm was quite valuable. There are decisions that need to be made quickly. Emma's firm? That's her business. Was her business, Travis corrected. His voice had gone cold, professional, like we were strangers. And as her husband, I'm the primary beneficiary. So yes, we're making decisions. This is none of your concern. I looked at him, really looked at him. The man my daughter had loved, the man she'd chosen, the man who was supposed to be destroyed right now, not reviewing spreadsheets. Where's Emma? The medical examiner. They'll release her in a few days. I want to see her. That's not necessary, Travis. I want to see my daughter. No. Flat. Final. Look, I know you're upset, but you need to trust me to handle this. Emma would want me to keep things running smoothly. The firm has 15 employees depending on us. Projects in progress. Clients waiting. I can't just fall apart. Melissa put a hand on his shoulder. Familiar? Comfortable? Too comfortable. How long has this been going on? I asked quietly. Travis's face went blank. I don't know what you mean. You and her. I nodded at Melissa. How long? Jesus. Dad. My wife just died, and you're accusing me of... Answer the question. Melissa laughed. Actually laughed. Mr. Peterson, you're clearly in shock. Maybe you should go home, process your grief. Let Travis handle the adult responsibilities. Adult responsibilities. My Emma wasn't even cold yet, and this woman was talking about adult responsibilities. I pulled out my phone and called Bill Martinez. He'd been my partner for 8 years before I retired. Now he was a captain in Miami PD. Bill, I need a favor. I'm at my daughter's house in Coral Gables. She died last night. Heart attack, supposedly. I need you to make sure the ME does a full toxicology screen. Everything. Travis went pale. What are you doing? Being a father. And a cop. I walked toward Emma's home office. Travis moved to block me, but I gave him a look that stopped him cold. I'd interrogated murderers. He wasn't going to intimidate me. Emma's office was pristine, files organized, computer on the desk. But something was off. The drawers were too neat, like someone had gone through them recently. Carefully, I opened her filing cabinet. Financial records, business documents. And then I found it. A folder labeled Personal Legal, Do Not Move. Inside was a will, dated 6 months ago. Not the kind of thing a healthy 42-year-old usually worries about. But Emma was thorough. She always had been. I read it quickly, my detective brain cataloging every word. Everything went to me, not Travis. Me. The house, the business, the savings, the life insurance. All of it. With a note in her handwriting. Dad, if you're reading this, something has happened to me. I've been worried. Travis has been acting strange. Please make sure Marcus is taken care of. I love you, Emma. My hands started shaking. Put that down. Travis was in the doorway. That's private. This is her will. That's an old one. She made a new one 2 months ago. Left everything to me. That's the legal one. Funny. This is notarized. Witnessed. Filed with her attorney, Robert Chen. Your uncle, right? The lawyer? Travis's jaw tightened. Things changed. She updated it. That's how marriage works. I looked at him. This man who was supposed to love my daughter. When did she update it, Travis? Before or after she started having chest pains? Before or after she started getting suspicious of you and Melissa? Before or after she told me 2 weeks ago that she thought you were trying to push her out of her own company? The color drained from his face. He hadn't known Emma and I talked every week. That she'd confided in me. That she'd been worried. Get out of my house, he said. Emma's house, I corrected. She designed it. She bought it. She paid for it with money from her firm. The firm her grandmother left her seed money to start. The firm you've been trying to steal. Melissa appeared behind him. Travis, maybe we should call Robert. Let him handle this. Good idea, I said. Let's call Robert. Let's also call the ME. Let's call Emma's business attorney, Sharon Goldstein. Let's call everyone and see what they say about this supposed new will. I pulled out my phone again. Called Sharon. She picked up on the second ring. Sharon, it's Jack Peterson, Emma's father. I have a question. Did Emma update her will in the last 2 months? A long pause. Jack, I'm so sorry about Emma. I just heard. No, she didn't update her will. The last one we did was in March. She was very specific about her wishes. She told me she didn't trust Travis with the business. She wanted to make sure it went to you so you could protect it for Marcus someday. Thank you, Sharon. I looked at Travis. So, which will is the real one? Travis's phone rang. He looked at the screen, went even paler, declined the call. Who was that? I asked. None of your business. My phone buzzed. Bill Martinez, I answered. Jack, you need to hear this. I talked to the ME. Your daughter's autopsy is this afternoon, but preliminary findings are concerning. She had petechial hemorrhaging in her eyes. That's not consistent with a heart attack. It's consistent with asphyxiation. And there are trace marks on her neck. Faint, but there. Someone tried to make it look natural. The world tilted. I grabbed the desk to steady myself. You son of a bitch, I whispered. Travis bolted, ran for the front door. I was 63, but I'd been a cop for nearly 3 decades. I caught him in the foyer, slammed him against the wall. What did you do? What did you do to my daughter? I didn't. I swear. I found her. She was already... Liar. I had his shirt in my fists, every instinct screaming at me to hurt him, to make him pay. Melissa was screaming, calling 911. Good. Let them come. Let everyone come. I held Travis there until I heard sirens. Bill arrived first, 3 patrol units behind him. He took one look at my face and knew. Jack, let me take it from here. I released Travis, stepped back. My hands were shaking. 42 years of being a cop, and I'd never wanted to cross that line. Until now. They arrested Travis on the spot, took him out in handcuffs. Melissa, too, screaming about lawyers and false accusations. Bill put a hand on my shoulder. We'll get them, Jack. I promise. We'll get the truth. The autopsy confirmed it. Emma had been suffocated, probably with a pillow. The heart attack story was a cover. And when they searched the house, they found everything. Emails between Travis and Melissa going back 18 months. Plans to take over Emma's company. Plans to push her out. Then when she'd threatened to divorce him, plans for something worse. A draft of a fake will on Travis's computer, backdated, forged with Emma's signature. Life insurance policies Travis had taken out on Emma 6 months ago. $3 million worth that Emma hadn't known about. Financial records showing Travis had been embezzling from the firm. Nearly $500,000. Money Emma had been about to discover. And security footage from a neighbor's camera showing Travis leaving the house at 11:47 p.m. the night Emma died, coming back at 12:32 a.m. In between, he'd gone to Melissa's apartment. They'd celebrated. The trial took 8 months. I sat through every day of it, heard every piece of evidence, watched Travis try to spin his story, watched Melissa claim she knew nothing. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Murder in the first degree. Insurance fraud. Embezzlement. Travis got life without parole. Melissa got 20 years as an accessory. Emma's will stood. Her firm came to me. I couldn't run it. Didn't know the first thing about architecture. But Emma's senior partner, Sarah Chen, stepped up. Ironically, she was Robert's sister, Travis's cousin. She'd never liked Travis, had warned Emma about him. Together, we restructured the company, made it an employee-owned cooperative. Every staff member got a share. Emma would have loved that. I used the life insurance money Travis had taken out to create the Emma Peterson Foundation. Scholarships for young women in architecture. Funding for community housing projects. Everything Emma had cared about. Marcus helped me design the foundation's logo. Emma's initials worked into a building design. She would have laughed at the irony, her death financing the dreams she'd always had. It's been 3 years now. The pain hasn't gone away. I don't think it ever will. But I wake up every morning in the house Emma designed, the one the court gave me, and I work on the foundation. I review scholarship applications. I visit the housing projects we fund. I tell Emma's story to young architects who need to hear it. Last month, we opened the Emma Peterson Community Center in Tampa, designed by one of our scholarship recipients, A beautiful building with clean lines and lots of natural light. Exactly Emma's style. I stood there at the ribbon cutting, Marcus beside me, and I felt her. Not gone, just transformed. Her legacy, her impact. Living on in ways Travis's greed could never touch. People ask me how I got through it, how I didn't lose myself in rage or grief. The truth is, I almost did. That moment in her house, holding Travis against the wall, I was seconds away from becoming something I'd spent my whole life fighting against. But Emma wouldn't have wanted that. She believed in justice, real justice, the kind that comes from truth and patience and doing things the right way. So I did it her way. I used every skill I'd learned in 28 years of detective work. I followed the evidence. I trusted the system. And the system worked. Not perfectly, not quickly, but it worked. Travis sits in a cell now. No parole, no appeals left. Melissa too. They took everything from me, from Marcus, from the world, and they got nothing in return. The company they tried to steal is thriving. The money they tried to take is changing lives. The woman they murdered is remembered and honored every single day. I'm not the same man I was 3 years ago. Losing a child changes you, breaks something fundamental inside. But I chose to let that break shape me into something useful. Someone who could honor Emma's memory by fighting for others the way I fought for her. Sometimes, late at night, I walk through Emma's house, and I can almost hear her voice, laughing at one of my dad jokes, telling me about her latest project, planning her future. The future Travis stole from her. But he didn't steal everything. He couldn't steal her impact, her kindness, her vision, the way she saw the world and tried to make it better. That lives on. In the buildings designed by the architects we fund. In the families living in the affordable housing we support. In the community center with her name on it. Travis thought he could win by taking her life. But he lost. Completely. Absolutely. Because Emma's life wasn't just hers. It was everyone she touched. Everyone she helped. Everyone she inspired. And that can never be murdered. That can never be stolen. So if you're listening to this, and you've lost someone to greed, to evil, to senseless violence, I want you to know something. The pain doesn't go away, but it can be transformed. It can become purpose. It can become justice. It can become legacy. Don't let the people who took your loved one win by letting hate consume you. Use that love you feel, that grief, that anger. Channel it into something your loved one would be proud of. That's how you really win. Not by destroying the ones who hurt you, though sometimes the justice system handles that, but by making sure the person you lost continues to make the world better, even in their absence. Emma's gone, but Emma's not finished, not even close. And Travis? He thought he'd inherit everything, her company, her money, her life. Instead, he inherited nothing, no fortune, no freedom, no future. Just a cell and the knowledge that every good thing Emma built is still building, still growing, still winning. That's real justice. That's real vengeance. The kind that doesn't destroy you, the kind that honors the ones you love. If you or someone you know is dealing with a suspicious death, trust your instincts. I almost didn't. I almost let Travis's smooth explanations and rehearsed grief fool me. But something in my gut said no. Something said, look deeper. Listen to that voice. Demand answers. Demand autopsies. Demand investigations. Don't let anyone tell you you're being paranoid or difficult. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And protect your loved ones legally. Emma did everything right. She had a will. She documented her concerns. She told people she trusted. That evidence saved her legacy and caught her killer. Do the same. Make sure your family knows your wishes. Keep records. Trust your instincts. Don't ignore red flags in relationships. And for God's sake, talk to your kids. Really talk to them. Let them confide in you. Create that space where they feel safe telling you when something's wrong. Emma did that. She told me she was worried. She told me about the chest pains, the stress, the feeling that Travis was changing. I listened. I remembered. And when the time came, That information made all the difference. I'm 66 now, officially retired. But the work continues. The foundation grows. Last year, we funded 12 scholarships and 3 community projects. This year, we're on track for 20 scholarships and 5 projects. Emma's impact multiplies. And somewhere, I like to think she's smiling, proud of what we've built from the ashes of what they tried to destroy. To everyone watching, I'll leave you with this. Greed destroys. Always. It destroyed Travis. It destroyed Melissa. It tried to destroy Emma's legacy. But love builds. Love endures. Love wins. Choose love. Choose justice. Choose legacy. And if you've enjoyed this story, if it's resonated with you, if you've faced similar battles or know someone who has, please share it. Comment below with your thoughts. Subscribe so you don't miss future stories. And remember, justice delayed is not justice denied. Sometimes it just takes patience, evidence, and the determination to never give up. Thank you for listening. This is Jack Peterson, and this is Emma's story, our story, a story of loss, justice, and the power of love to transform tragedy into purpose.